So continuing with our investment lecture, so this chapter is really about how we treat debt investments and how we treat equity investments, right? So debt is, we can have held to maturity, we can have trading, or we can have securities available for sale. And with equity, we have fair value through net income, and then we have the equity method, okay? And then for equity method, as long as the investor lacks control of the investee, the investor can choose the fair value option and account for an investment similar to how trading securities are accounted for. Okay, and then there is control. We're going to go into it a little bit more. So as we looked in the previous video, securities held to maturity, this security basically matures, and if you're holding it to maturity, then the fair value is not relevant because you're basically going to recognize the return of the bond later. So the investment is recorded at cost, and then interest is recorded each period at the effective market rate. So that's the example that we did. If it's trading security available for sale, basically meaning, hey, I have this bond, but I'm not holding it to maturity, I may sell it. What happened is that it's reported at fair value. This is most of the case usually. It's reported at fair value, and because fair value is more relevant, and then basically what happens is realized gains and losses are included in earnings. Reported unrealized holding gains and losses in the financial statements depend on whether investments are classified as it's trading or securities for sale. Basically, for trading and available securities for sale, they are recognized in the period of the financial period, right? But what we're going to go into is the detail here of how it is recognized, right? And basically with trading, everything gets recognized right away and goes into income. With securities available for sale, all investments and securities that don't fit definitions of other reporting securities, and basically these are securities that you would intend to hold for a certain couple of periods. So unrealized holding gains and losses from holding AFS securities during periods of fair value change are not included in that income and are rather included in OCI. So what happens is this income, if it is qualified as securities available for sale, in other words, something that you're not holding right now to be traded at all in the next coming period, in other words, you're going to hold it for the next 3 to 5 years, then what you can do is report the related unrealized gain loss not in income but other comprehensive income, which means it goes on the statement of changes of equity and doesn't show up in net income. We're going to go and look more into that and see what that actually means. But what happens is basically essentially what you have to know is held to maturity is what we did above, and this is the example, is where you actually record it at cost, which means the face amount, and then you record the earnings as discussed here. If it's available for sale, you record realized and unrealized earnings in OCI, which is other comprehensive income. If it's trading, it gets recorded in net income. Keep in mind that here, investment, recorded at cost, recorded fair value, recorded fair value. And then here, income is basically based on fair value change. Basically does not get recorded in income statement, recorded in OCI, other comprehensive income, which is basically skips the income statement, goes straight to the statement of shareholder equities. And that's how we know that this is basically 3 different treatments that we need to know in this chapter.